Pedro, it's Michael and Don. How you doing?
I'm well, guys. How are you guys?
We're doing okay. So you have admitted that you didn't vote for Piazza. So we'd just like to know how come.
Oh, I mean, Mike, the biggest thing for me is that he absolutely was a standout player. There's no doubt about it. And one of the things about, the Hall of Fame voting is that it allows you time to really think about things. So, at this point, I'm not entirely comfortable. One of the things about the last 20, 25 years that stands out is rumor and suspicion. And certainly Mike's name has always been mentioned as a potential suspect when it comes to PEDs. But taking that aside, yes, you're right. Greatest offensive catcher in the history of the game. No doubt about that. But does that make you automatically included in the Hall of Fame? Because Mark McGwire is arguably the greatest home run hitting first baseman of all time, and yet he's not in. His stats are excellent for a catcher, but why was he a catcher?
But Pedro, you did not vote for him because you're unsure of his stats.
He is to me, honestly, he's a borderline guy with his current numbers.
Really?
I'm shocked. I wouldn't vote for him. Not to say I wouldn't vote for him at some point, but the suspicion, the rumors, and this is not just me making things up. This is talking to, players in the game who have certainly had their suspicions about him and things like that. So, the good thing about the Hall of Fame vote is now it's down to 10 years instead of 15, but it allows your time to think about it, to let things flesh out, so to speak. And in that case, I'm gonna use the time that's allotted to me to think more and to evaluate Mike more than just a first-year type guy. And I think this was his third year or second year?
This is his third.
Third, okay. Let's not forget, other guys have gotten in on their third, fourth, fifth, ninth, 14th year. And, Mike, you and I know enough Hall of Famers, they don't care when they get in. They just enjoy being in.
But as far as the suspicion is concerned, Pedro, couldn't you be suspect of every player during that era? I mean, Randy Johnson threw 100 miles per hour at the age of 40. Why not be worried about him? I mean, no one, you covered baseball. Was there any allegations prior to Melky Cabrera getting busted for PEDs? Was he a big guy? Was he a strong guy? So really anybody could fall under the category of suspicion over the last 25 years.
And you're absolutely right about that. In Randy Johnson's defense, he was throwing 100 miles an hour when he was 20 years old at USC, or 19 years old at USC. So at least there was that. Mike Piazza was a catcher because he couldn't play anywhere else. You talk to big league scouts who saw him. He was a 62nd round pick. And to his credit, he made it all the way. He was a Rookie of the Year. He finished in the top 5 in MVP voting a handful of times. So he made something of himself. And that's not to say it can't happen. But the reality is that during this period, there is suspicion. And obviously, I'm not alone here, Mike, because 165 voters did not vote for Piazza. Mm-hmm. So as much as the people on Twitter like to say I'm the reason, there's 164 others who didn't vote for Piazza.
But here's my point with this, Pedro. And I we joke around a lot. I know you're a good guy. Would you want to be left out of something because of innuendo and rumor? I mean, there are other guys that you can clearly connect the dots and say, okay, they were PED users. All the people have on this are whispers and the fact that he had back knee. And I mean, in all due respect,
I've never put any stock into the acne thing. Hey, guys have acne. I had acne as a teenager, and still into my, hell, I still get a zit here and there.
I kind of derailed myself. Here's my point, though, Pedro. He's not getting into the first 3 years because of these whispers and PED suspicions. So my point is that he should never get in, because I would think that on stats alone, I disagree with you vigorously. His stats are Hall of Fame stats. So on stats alone, he's a Hall of Famer. So why will people's minds change on these rumors and innuendos? He's either a PED user in your mind or not. He should either be chosen or not.
Well, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. That's the beauty of the Hall of Fame vote. You do get multiple times to try to get in. It's not a one-and-done type vote. If it was, I might think differently. If you were only eligible one time, I absolutely might think differently on the whole thing.
Did you vote for Bonds or Clemens?
I have not. No, I have not voted for either of them any year that they've been on the ballot.
And will you ever?
At this point, probably not. Probably not. But, the evidence against them is completely different. At this point, I would probably never vote for either of them.